Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space in my backyard. And today we are going to put these sweet potato slips into some soil. So I started these sweet potato slips probably way too early, which is cool, but they got to get out of this water. Let me show you the roots. So for one, they're super long. Can you see those? And then look at those roots, y'all. They look amazing, but we got to get them out of this water. I could leave these in the water. I am not going to because I want them to learn to grow in soil. Plus, they're getting very long, but I'm going to show you something that you can do with this long one. So, if your sweet potato slips get really long, hope you can see the little nodes and nodules on your sweet potato slip. You can cut right there or snap right there and you can get a new sweet potato slips. It will start to root again. So tonight, with all of my torn up fingernails, my nails just started breaking out of nowhere. I gotta go get those done tomorrow. We're gonna start with the smallest ones because it just seems like much easier. But we're gonna go ahead and pull them out. Show you the roots on the outside. They're not that bad on the small ones, but when you plant this, you would want to take this last leaf off because you can plant, and you could also take this leaf. If your pot was deep enough, I could take this leaf too, which I probably will, because like I said, all of those nodes, hope you can see them, are going to grow more roots. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom with this one. A very deep hole with that one. Then I'm going to drop it in. And it does not go as deep as I thought. Let's see. Maybe I didn't put the hole deep enough. Yeah, goes a little bit deeper. And then I'm going to fill that hole in. And now I have extra soil right there. I'm just going to fill in all the way to the top. So just like tomatoes, sweet potatoes can be planted pretty deep and they will continue to root. Potted up that sweet potato slip. Even when you plant it outside, you're going to want to plant it deep because that's where your roots are going to come from, and that's where you're going to get sweet potatoes. So I'm going to go up as far as I can to where I think I can, and then I'm just going to go very deep and stick my sweet potato slip in there. And I would normally plant my marigolds in this pot, in these trays. These trays are from Lowe's. But because these sweet potatoes need to go, we're going to plant them in it because they need to be planted, in my opinion. So this weekend is supposed to be very, very gross, like raining and stuff. So I was totally hoping to get outside, but that's not gonna happen. So I said, well, I could get these sweet potato slips out of my house. So tomorrow at some point when it's not too rainy, I will take them outside and put them in the greenhouse. I'm not potting them up, not potting them up. I'm not planting them out when I say that. Because sweet potatoes need, I want to say like a night at 55. Soil temperatures need to be warm. So I'm not planting them outside or anything. But I am putting them in the greenhouse. Because the other day I came out down here. The sweet potato slips hardly had any water in them. And the slips that's still growing on the potato was dry. Because everything's outside now. So I'll be forgetting about the stuff that's inside. I'm going to show y'all the hydroponic growing system that I put in over the weekend. We already have germination in it. It's pretty cool. Sweet potatoes do not need a lot of nitrogen. They much more prefer phosphorus. So if you're choosing to grow sweet potatoes, just kind of remember that. They don't need a lot of that. I told a coworker I would bring him some sweet potato slips. So I'm going to leave a few of them in water for him. Oh, it's kind of cracked. But you know me, I'm gonna still use it. And so sweet potatoes need a long growing season. Like, you put them out when it gets, you know, warm enough. And then you don't harvest them until like right before fall, right before your first fall frost. So wherever you put them, you need to make sure it's a space where you can dedicate that space to the sweet potato slips for the rest of the growing season. And it also needs to be a sunny spot. They are full sun. And when I say full sun, I mean in a sunny spot, and they need to get, I want to say like 8 to 10 hours of sun a day, something like that. You can Google full sun, but they need a lot of sun all day. Ooh, lots and lots of roots on that one. And leaves. These roots are where your sweet potatoes are going to grow from. So, and sweet potatoes have a lot of foliage during the year. So also remember, wherever you plant your sweet potatoes, make sure you can either throw the sweet potato back over itself like the vines, because they vine a lot, or make sure you put them in a space where the vines can just run, because they have a lot of vines, and they will reroot themselves into soil as they vine. So that's kind of like I was telling you that those nodes you can, you know, will plant, make new roots. It's the same thing outside. It will reroot in the soil around it. So I want to show you, these are some of the, these are the new slips, not that one. That one I just pulled out of the water. But these are new slips from all the slips that we got. So we got a lot of slips. But I could take this slip off of this sweet potato, and it already had roots. And I could do the same thing I'm doing right now. You don't have to root them in water. I had so many other things that were growing that at the time, and that I had to pot up, that I knew that they would survive in water. So that's what I did. But I could do the same thing with this slip that just came off of that potato, and it's gonna grow just as well. It's very long. It's very long. I'm gonna take this one because I broke it earlier, but I want to show you the roots too. Look at that one. Was no need for the water. My slips was just very long. When I say no need, you can absolutely do it. It is not necessary though. So just remember that, you know, if you are one of the gardeners that do not like potting up, sweet potato slips is one of those things you can plant if you're doing it close enough to your planting out date, that is, that you could plant one time after it comes off of the slip and be done with it. We're gonna pull it off the sweet potato. This is actually two. We're gonna take the lower leaf and pull it off. Just gonna take it, dig a deep enough hole, and drop it in. And there you have it. We have planted a sweet potato slip. If you see him in the street, walking by himself, talking to himself, happy. You like it uptown, it's quiet uptown. They are going through the unimaginable. There are moments that the words don't reach. They're suffering to going through the unimaginable. All right, now that I've sang that song, that's from Hamilton. My daughter watched Hamilton a million times before I watched it, because at first I couldn't get into it. Have you watched Hamilton? Totally off topic. My daughter watched Hamilton. I absolutely love that. Now, I'm gonna recycle this. I could put it in my compost pile. I'm gonna recycle it because I don't have a compost pile bag going, so there's that. Oh, let me show y'all, the wash machine is going. Let me close this door first. But let me show y'all the ginger that I purchased from the store. Like, granted, may not grow me any ginger, but what it did do is sprout. So my point in saying that is people say you can't grow things from the store. They're sprayed with something to keep it from sprouting. Maybe they are. Maybe the things are sprayed. I've literally never had that problem though. I will say my sweet potatoes that I purchased from the store this year, they did rot. But I did it last year and they did not. So I guess my point is at least try it. Don't just like believe what people say, because it is possible that it will grow. Let me show you the ginger. Look at that. Also started probably too early. By the way, a new one is popping up. I didn't show y'all that. So I think I put 4 in here. And so all 4 have sprouted. I do not think it's supposed to be this tall. Not at this point. But I'll know for next year. But yeah, look at it. But those are sweet potato slips. So that's 24 and 6. So what's that? 30. I got 30 sweet potato slips. Not to mention the ones that's still over here. Not to mention the ones that still try to grow. So I grew all of those sweet potato slips from 4 sweet potatoes, 4 very small sweet potatoes that I grew last year. But now let's go look at the hydroponic growing system that I put up and put together last weekend. But looky there. So this was put up last Saturday, I believe, or Sunday. So we have a tomato growing. I believe this was basil. I don't see anything yet. Could have been calendula, but I am not positive. We do have a basil back here. I will take the cap off once the basil grows to the top of it. I believe this was also calendula. Yes, I can see the seeds. That was calendula. You can't see it. And actually, I think this is basil, and I think this is another calendula. But look at that. Can you see it? The calendula is sprouting. So excited. All right. Then you have a sunflower. Both sunflower seeds sprouted. This is the other sunflower, and both seeds in there sprouted. So of course, I will thin those. This is the other tomato, which looks like it's sprouted, but maybe it's not gonna make it. Can you see that? If in the next few days it does not make it, I will come in and put another one in. But that is the progress on the growing system, the hydroponics growing system that we started together last week. I'll link the video so that you can see it if you haven't already. If you've been here for a while, you know I have another hydroponics growing system as well. Please don't look at the background. It is Friday. And of course I have to clean this weekend. So it's Friday after work. I'm definitely not cleaning tonight. So let me show you this other hydroponics growing system, which I plan to reset soon because a lot of the lettuce has gone to seeds, you know, went to the straight stalk. So I do have a little bit of lettuce left, but not a lot. The basil is starting to grow better now that it's not being shaded by the lettuce. So when I reset this, I still want basil. I'm probably gonna put the basil closer to the front, and then that way it won't get shaded. But let me show you. So this is my other hydroponics growing system. I got a lot of lettuce out of it. A lot of these are empty right now because, like I said, the lettuce went to seed. But look at all these tomatoes, y'all. Look, how awesome. There's another cluster back here. Yeah, like this is pretty awesome. I'm very happy. I'm waiting for them to turn red, but yeah, like there's tomatoes everywhere and new flowers growing back there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, oh, and more tomatoes. You see those? I didn't even see those. And so the lettuce, this one is starting to come to a point. The basil in the back is finally starting to grow because it can get some light. See it back there? And then this is another lettuce that's starting to come to a point. So I got all the way in the bed and realized I did not edit this video, hence the hat, because my hair is wrapped up already. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in the garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.